and Dr. Drew.
Ronnie,
Yep.
you're 17.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
What's up?
Hey.
My question's about, like, when I masturbate, I do it, like, a few times in a row sometimes.
Hey, Drew, don't you feel like on a Sunday night, after having a weekend off, we should be easing in to our jobs a little more?
Yeah, it is a little startling, isn't it?
Start with maybe...
it's like starting dinner with, like, the day with brisket.
Yeah, it's like having a beef shake at 6:30 in the morning. Sometimes I forget what I do. I just think I'm a comedian or something, or some kind of entertainer, and then I get in and I'm talking to 17-year-old Ronnie's whacking off too much. But
No, it's not that I do it too much, just that I was wondering if it's, like, going to hurt me from doing it in a row, you know?
Nope, you're going to be fine. Thank you.
All right.
So this is a very important question.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
It's like, when you have, like, little chunks of something in your cum, is it...
That's normal.
It's normal, too, huh?
Yep.
So I'm cool, huh?
You're cool,
Yeah.
Ronnie.
What I like to do, you know, like when you get some salad dressing, like some ranch or something that's sitting in the fridge too long, you don't just pour it over the salad. What do, Drew?
Throw it down the sink.
You shake it up, you idiot. I like to do that with the testes.
Ah.
I like to put my...
in a paint shaker or something?
Yeah, like the ones they have at the hardware store.
Right.
Doesn't feel bad either, and then it just comes out with a nice head on it. Just let me enjoy my weenie, please. All right, let's start the show officially. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla, that is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. All right, let's talk about what's going on before I talk about tonight's guest. Tomorrow night we'll have Bobcat Goldthwait in here, who's a friend of the show and a friend and a good guy all the way around. Always funny, this Bobcat. Does not know how not to be funny.
And a nice guy. He brought me my kid's Hercules paraphernalia last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because he did that voice.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't seen that. I got to see that movie.
It's on video now.
To me, it's sort of gay porn, that Hercules.
How do you figure?
Big muscle-bound guy running around in a studded tunic, you know, doing lots of feats
Disney.
of strength.
No, it's Disney, believe me.
Okay. Then Grantley Buffalo will be in here. Then Eve 6. You hip to Eve 6, Drew?
No.
You're not?
What is it?
I don't know. Ann, what's Eve 6? It's a band? It's a good band, I'll tell you that.
K-Rock's playing him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all over K-Rock. Drew thought it was a douche. Drew thought it was an evening douche.
Drew barely knows who, like, Green Day is.
That's right.
Drew, I was talking to him about Green Day, and he said, you mean those guys who rammed the Japanese whaling ships? Hey, Drew, got a little rise out of Drew over there, everybody. And then Ariana Huffington will be in here. Now, you know who that is.
Yes.
Who is that?
She is the wife of... He ran for Senate?
Yeah, I don't even know his first name anymore. She's been in the spotlight for like the last 5 years.
She's a smart lady.
She's an incredibly smart woman, and she's become... I don't exactly know what Ariana Huffington does for a living, but she's on the talk show circuit all the time. You always see her on Grodin or Politically Incorrect or some show like this. She's good looking, and she has this great accent, like she's Hungarian.
Yeah.
Is she Hungarian?
I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
And she sounds like one of the Gabor. It's like if someone put a brain in one of the Gabor sisters, she would be Ariana Huffington. And she's amazingly quick-witted.
Yes.
And funny. She's, I don't know, sort of a political satirist or something. What is she doing? Is she
What's she peddling?
She has a book out.
Yeah. She's written some good books, I understand, so
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
Okay. And Bobbie Brown will be in here tonight. Now, there's a few Bobbie Browns. This is the model Bobbie Brown. This is, well, if you get Cosmo like I do, you'll note that on page 211 of June's issue, there's a article called Tommy Lee Abused Me Before Pamela. And this is Bobbie Brown's story. She was engaged to Tommy Lee and has a bit of a tell-all article, although I didn't read it because I'm not a good host. Drew, you want to scan that?
You want me to read it?
Yeah, anyway, she's got a few projects coming up. You may know her best as the cherry pie chick from the Warrant video. At least that's the way I like to remember her. So. I just had a Pavlovian erection response to that, Engineer Mike. As a matter of fact, forget all this Viagra and all this Muse system and all these injections and pumps and all that. They ought to just play cherry pie. I guarantee you, any guy with impotency would be right over it. Would they not, Drew?
I can't comment.
But have they ever tried to work music into that sort of thing?
Into the test for impotency?
Well, look at it this
It'd
way.
be more fun than the nocturnal tumescence monitor, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but it is nothing that I know of, so let's go on.
All right, here we go. Anyway, Bobbie will be in here in a few minutes. Dave, you're 28.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Caught the MTV show earlier tonight. I don't know when you guys taped it, but it was on tonight. And at the end, I caught right at the tail end of the show, and Dr. Drew was talking about to this girl from Baltimore that was involved in an abusive relationship. I wanted to ask you guys, I know a lady that's involved, and I really care about her a whole lot, and I'd like to be involved with her myself, but she's involved in an abusive relationship, and I was wondering if there's anything I could do to help her.
Was it the same girl Drew was talking to?
No.
Oh.
I don't know, because well, I don't think it was her real name, but I don't think it was her.
All right, look, there are lots of people involved in abuse. In fact, we're going to talk to Bobbie Brown about abusive relationships tonight.
We certainly are.
One of the things, Dave, we've been sort of chanting in the last few days here on this show is that if you have a real strong attraction to a certain kind of person that's involved in maybe not such healthy kinds of behaviors and relationships, don't trust that impulse to be attracted. In fact, run the other way. The need to fix somebody who's involved in these terribly destructive relationships is a bad impulse. Yeah, it's something akin to, I think, a syndrome that people commonly understand as codependency. If you want to read about it, things like Codependent No More are out there for you. But there is need to fix somebody who is disturbed like that or in a desperate situation. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to either be a victimizer or a victim yourself if somebody's really into that kind of relationships.
Dave?
Yeah.
Without some professional help.
Are you the fix-it guy?
I guess kind of. I've been involved in some doozy relationships myself. But
That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Most of the time, it wasn't like I was trying to fix the person or something like that.
But I would bet you've been involved with some alcoholic addicts.
No, actually, I haven't.
Hmm?
Well, one time.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
that was, whew, man.
All right. But you've chosen some women who needed a little emotional restoration.
Or, well, yeah, support, kind of,
Yeah. Listen, not that people that don't need, that haven't had horrible things happen to them in the past and don't need a little help don't deserve to be in a relationship. It's just, if that's why you're in it, then you're kind of an idiot, too. I mean, well, look at it this way, Drew. Just because you're there for the right reasons, here's what I'm saying.
Altruistic reasons do not make health.
That's right. It's like if you give someone $100, because you know there's a guy with a camera wandering around nearby and he's going to put a picture of you with your arm around a homeless person in the newspaper, it still makes you an a-hole.
Right.
Even though you gave the guy $100.
Right. And it's probably a lot of people are attracted to the chaos. A lot of people need chaos, and Dave, I suspect, is one of the people who needs chaos. He described his relationships as doozies.
All right.
It's probably pretty wild.
Find someone you're not attracted to and marry her. Ulysses,
Hello?
you're 15.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Like, I like to say, like, this show's pretty damn cool. Like, everyone else who gets on it, like, they never compliment in your show. And I think that's
thank you.
what you guys do.
Thanks.
My problem is, like, I have a tough time talking to girls ever since I can remember. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty tough for me.
Right.
You're 15.
You're 15.
Yeah.
Expect that feeling for about another 6 years or so, wouldn't you say?
Easily.
Yeah.
If you're like me, another 20.
Oh, geez.
Well, Ulysses, that's normal. That's every young male, virtually every young male. And the guys that don't go through that, think about
Gay.
no, or end up
Lose their hair. Get fat.
Well,
Listen, I don't know what it is, and I don't know how this works, but, like, somehow the die is cast, if I'm not screwing that up, that analogy up, but, or that, what do you want to call that, phrase up. I mean, when I was in the 7th grade, there were certain guys, and it was a small percentage of guys, that had no trouble with women, came up and talked to women, smooth-ass operators at 13 years old, and then there were the rest of us. And I have no idea what gave those 13-year-old guys the cojones to go up and be smooth with women, but somehow it worked.
But in the overall course of life...
By the time they got to 17, it didn't make a ass lick of difference.
Or even if it did, how about when they were 21, 22, 23?
They burned out.
Right. Or at least the playing field was finally sort of flattened.
Right.
Well, do you have any, like, pickup lines? Because I feel like kicking my own ass. Like, I get sick of this.
Pickup lines... Ulysses, focus on the person you're trying to talk to. Be interested in that person and what they're interested in. Try to be empathic with where they're at and be available yourself if you can do that. Do not expect pickup lines or superficial kinds of interactions to accomplish anything. Women really want to know somebody who is available emotionally.
Yeah, but don't talk too much. That'll always get you into trouble, especially with young women. Brood a little. Pretend like you're pissed off.
But that's being sort of...
Yeah, it works on the 15-year-olds, though. Okay? You know I'm right with that. Zach.
Yeah, my girlfriend's mom's way too overprotective.
In what way? Give us an example.
Well, like, she's not allowed to go out of the house without, like, a busload of people, you know?
How old is she?
She's 14.
I call that a good parent, maybe not an overprotective parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I should dump her because of it, because it's really starting to piss me off.
Well, this Zach has a lot of charm.
Well, I was going to say,
Silky smooth, this Zach.
We ought to advise him to dump her on behalf of this 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, but he's probably going to get another girlfriend.
You mean he's going to move on to some other innocent prey?
And we'd be responsible for that victim.
I see.
Zach?
Yeah.
So what do? Do you make out with her and stuff?
Well, no, we only been going out for, like, 2 weeks, and, like, we only been able to go out, like, once or twice because there wasn't enough people.
Well, look, if you're not into her enough to put up with that, so to speak, maybe that's not the right person.
She may be blaming a little of this on Mama, by the way.
I mean, maybe she's making up excuses for why she doesn't want to see Zach so much.
It's a possibility. Teenagers will tend to do what they want to do.
Absolutely, but let me pose it a little different way. Zach comes up to introduce himself to you and take your daughter out.
Yeah. Zach, you got braces or a retainer?
Braces.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at that as harmless, Zach, with the braces. You ever get food stuck in there?
Not frequently, no.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good hygiene. Zach, you like this girl?
Yeah, she's pretty good.
All right.
Now, Zach, thank you for being more real with us. If you like her, then you'll deal with the mom, and the mom will learn to like you too. If indeed you're a little more, don't put that.
What do you want to do with her anyway,
look, Zach? But all that bravado and all that machismo stuff, drop that and just be Zach. And if mom gets to know you as Zach, I'm sure she'll loosen up a little bit on the reins.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Zach. All right, I wanted to ask Drew, we were doing an interview, and I forgot to, well, anyway, that was a stupid setup, but...
About Douglas?
Yeah. One of Drew's kids, Douglas, had to have brain surgery when he was 1 year old, right?
Yeah.
Transplant or just fix the one he had?
Just fix the one he had.
Okay. And I was asking Drew, I never really got the full story on that, and, how dangerous it was and what an ordeal it was. And 1 year old, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what was your first clue that something was wrong? We were doing an interview before the show started, and this came up, and we ran out of time, so we told the guy we'd talk about it on the air and he could listen in. But
Adam and I never speak to each other except when the microphones are on, so we have to do it now.
During the commercial, by the way, we'll speak through the microphone at each other.
If we talk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we had been through a hellacious year, raising triplets, and we decided we were going to take a vacation. And we were going to go to Las Vegas, and we were going to bring help, and we were going to have the grandpa. Everybody was going to be there.
Okay, we got 45
and
seconds.
Okay. And anyway, make a long story short, I was outside the room. Here are the kids bouncing around, jumping around. All of a sudden, I hear this wham, and then a strange cry, and then my wife started freaking out. And I got in, and she was holding a limp child without a pulse, not breathing.
How do you know?
Yeah. And who
no pulse and not breathing?
According to her, had just had a seizure after jumping off the bed and whacking his head. What kids do.
You checked your son's pulse?
Yeah.
And how do you check for their breathing? Put your ear up to their mouth?
I watch their breathing. I mean, kids breathe. You can see their intercostal muscles moving. And I thought he's either broken his neck or bled into his head, like hit his head really hard. And it was horrible.
So he was dead.
As far as we know, yeah.
Right.
And so paramedics in the hotel room, the whole deal, started breathing again, got him going. Went to the hospital. Things looked
How'd you
okay.
get him going again?
He just came back spontaneously.
He did.
And they give him IV fluids and whatnot, sort of fluid resuscitation. And we got to the hospital, and they kept coming out saying everything's fine. But something funny on the CAT scan. This child ever had balance problems before? Did he ever had any? No. Can we get to the kid? And finally, I think the doctors were taking care of him, identified so strongly with me, they were afraid to sort of really acknowledge what was on the CAT scan. And finally I said, well, let me see what you're talking about. And there was this huge cyst sitting and pushing his cerebellum aside and went down into his brainstem. So when he'd fallen, it banged against this big cyst. So we flew back, had to take him right to neurosurgery to have the cyst opened and drained and fenestrated, it's called. And that was it. It's been great ever since. It was a horrible procedure. I mean, it was
They
all
didn't
kinds of
take the
complications.
cyst out? They just drained it?
They just fenestrated it, yeah.
Is that draining?
Yeah. It's like
Did I fenestrate the carbuncle that was on my ass?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, that's more of a
lance.
Yeah, lancing draining.
All right. So, do you have to check it every once in a while?
We did for a while, and then we started doing it every 4 years or something now.
You don't have to do it anymore.
No.
Can you play Pop Warner football?
I don't think so.
Really?
We'll check that out when the time comes. But I'm a little concerned because of the position of this damn thing.
I thought it was in the back of his head.
Yeah, but all your vital function is down the brainstem. That's why he lost his vital function.
A lot of theory, Drew. They haven't proven anything yet with that.
Thank you. Anyway, the reason this came up is I was talking about how we were talking about how we talk about everything on this show, and wherever we are is what we start talking about. I mean, where we've been that day, whatever we're doing, and that was where I was and was talking about. And this show was on just in Los Angeles at that time, and I am still grateful to the cards and letters of support we got. It was tremendous. Thank you to anyone who sent letters that week.
And now you know the rest of the story. All right, Bobbie Brown is in the next studio. She is on her way into this studio. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back, and when we do, we'll talk to her.
Loveline's phone number is 1-800-LOVE.
800-LOVE-191. Bobbie Brown is here. Now, Bobbie, we'll get the lowdown on you. Bobbie is on the show because Ann was reading an article in Cosmo about how Bobbie was engaged to Motley Crue's Tommy Lee, and how there was abuse going on and all that stuff. But we'll go back further than that and just start at the start, as Loverboy would say. You want a piece of my heart, Drew? Got to start at the start. So, what happened? You were a model?
Yeah.
Or still are a model, but...
More into acting now, but I came to town to be a model. And
where'd you come from?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And what year was that?
1989.
And you hooked up with the... how long did it take you to hook up with the Warrant fellas?
I'd been here for probably like a year and a half, and I was doing Star Search at the time, and they called for me to do the video, and I didn't get together with him until like 6 months after the video.
You're doing the spokesmodel competition?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And somebody saw you on that?
He did. They were on the road, and he saw the show and called in. I was like, I want her for my video. So.
And he got to have sex with you eventually, right?
Yeah, eventually down the road he did. We got married.
Hold on. This is why you got to start a band, everybody. Because you're in Tacoma on the road, and it's 8:30 at night, and you're watching TV from your hotel room, and you see a spokesmodel on Star Search, and you make a couple of phone calls. And I'm not saying you're easy, but I'm just saying a few months later, you're in bed.
It took him a good 8 months to get me in bed, sure.
Well, from the time he made the phone call. It took him a day and a half after he met you.
Right.
But, got to start a band, Drew. Make a note. Write just start band down there. All right, so now this is the lead singer of Warrant.
Right.
And so you guys hook up. That's when you do the Cherry Pie video. You guys were dating at that time, or you were married?
Actually, that was the first time I met him, when I did the video, and I was dating someone at the time, and he was very nice, sending flowers and trying to get together with me, and I was not into him at all. And eventually I broke up with my boyfriend like 2 months later, and he just kept tabs on me and called me that day. It was real.
The day you broke up?
Yeah. It was like, word traveled, and he called, and...
Well, he had the guy killed. He didn't
pretty much, yeah. He was in a trailer park somewhere, and hit over the head with a lead pipe, and we never found him, but yeah, we got together after that.
And you got married?
Yes, we got married probably like 7 months later.
And what happened with that?
I have a 6-year-old daughter from that. We're divorced now.
Mm-hmm.
And infidelity issues.
Oh, really?
Rock star
Kind
thing.
of band?
Shocking as it may seem.
Hold on, Drew. Can you believe one of the members of Warrant, the guy who met you through calling up the Star Search people after the spokesmodel competition, was caught screwing around with another woman?
It's amazing.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Flabbergasted.
I know.
All right, so he screwed around on you, so you dumped him.
Yeah.
All right, now what now you're still modeling, or in momming and modeling.
Momming, modeling, and acting.
And this is, but what year are we in now when you get the divorce?
Let's see. I got a divorce probably 2 years ago. It was finalized. Can you believe that?
Well, when did you start going out with Tommy?
I started going out with Tommy in, let's see, 94.
So you were going out with Tommy some years before the divorce became final.
Correct.
But you guys were separated?
Yes, legally separated.
For a number of years.
I only dated Tommy for a year, and we were separated probably like 3 months before I got together with Tommy.
And you were were you engaged to Tommy?
Yes.
And so basically, your story, at least in Cosmo, is that all these, all the stories of the abuse came out via Pamela Anderson or Pamela Lee, but Bobbie's saying that this was perpetrated on her years before when you guys were going out.
Mm-hmm.
And now, why didn't you break up immediately the first time he did anything?
Because when you love somebody, you romance the thought that when they say that they're going to change, that you want to believe that. So you try and stick it out because of the love or the thought that they may change or what they're saying is true.
Drew?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew. Do your stuff.
Well, if you have to idealize a guy in order to see them as somebody worth staying with after they behave like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so people that choose abusive partners usually need men to be sort of bigger than life and need them to be all powerful and be a certain way. I mean, it says something about your relationship with your father, really, is what it does.
Absolutely, and it's no closure from that relationship, and I think you attract that
you look
not
for that.
Having, yes,
you want to
exactly.
act that out,
That.
reclaim it, and close
Absolutely.
it, and you'll stay with it as an
Until
adult
you do.
until you do, or you get hurt or something. And it's kind of a codependency of sorts,
Absolutely.
and it's a way of trying to fix the guy, and you want to believe all these idealized things he starts telling you. He wants to be idealized, so you feed on each other, and it never.
Was your dad abusive?
Yes, not to me, but to my mother.
To Mom.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you, and I know we've talked about this just a few times before, but people, real easy to figure out, everybody. And I don't mean just spokesmodels or radio hosts or whoever you are. Real easy to figure out. I was watching some documentary. They're trying to figure out the patterns of some sort of
elk.
No, it was like a otter or something.
Yeah.
So they just attached a little homing beacon to 5 of them. They swam around and then they went, okay, we know what otters do. And it's same with people. It's real easy. Your dad's a little abusive to Mom, and for some sick reason, there's a component inside of people, same way as if Dad was an alcoholic, you'd end up with an alcoholic. Although Dad may have been an alcoholic.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, but that's why. But,
so you end up with an abusive alcoholic.
Can I speak about the story you tell in the Cosmo
Absolutely.
thing, which I just read? And
I hate the title, but sure.
But it's a classic story of an abusive relationship
Yes.
with addiction.
Read the title, Drew.
No, I hate this.
Well, it's good radio, though.
No.
Well, listen,
doesn't
people
wanna
are
read it.
listening going, what the F's the name of the thing?
What does it say on the front? There, what does it say on the front? He abused me before.
Yeah.
There you go.
He abused me before
Pamela
Pamela.
Anderson, yeah.
Okay. All right, so, Drew?
Yeah.
Are you going through something there? Or can we sort of move on?
Yes,
All right, so, but you never brought him into court or anything like that?
No, I never pressed charges. I just wanted to close that chapter, move on, you know?
And why'd you get out of it eventually?
I left when he abused me in front of my daughter. I had a flashback of my life, and I had promised, that I would never allow my children to see what I grew up seeing, and that was when I left.
Is your boyfriend or husband now currently abusive?
I don't have a boyfriend. I haven't dated in like 3 years.
Well, let me tell you something. You gone lesbian?
No.
Little bit?
No,
No?
can't go there, no.
That's the next move.
No, you know what? No.
Let me explain something about me. And
Okay, you do that.
'cause I'd like you to be attracted to me as well.
Okay.
I am not an overt abuser, but it's a slow pain with
Really?
me. I'm like a cancer.
Just being around him is abuse enough.
Right.
Oh, yeah, don't
So-
threaten me with a good time. Okay.
you know, what I mean is what a guy like Tommy could dish out in a year, it would take me 5 years to do, but it's a much slower, pervasive sort of pain being with me.
The Chinese water torture.
Yeah, you should be more attracted to me because it's really it's a more encompassing abuse.
No, really, Adam, I'm intrigued. I am.
Yeah, you should be because see, with a guy like Tommy, maybe there's some abuse, but then there are the good times still.
Right.
With me, there are no good times. So it
that's
balances out the subtle abuse that I like to perpetrate. All right, so reoccurring. I'm just looking at the bio here. Reoccurring role on news radio.
Yes.
And I'm sure you were shocked by the whole Phil Hartman thing.
Beyond shocked.
Talk about funky relationships. Working on a pilot, working on a book, and what's this Adidas commercial?
I play a mom. Can you believe that? Like a kid sitting on his beanbag chair or whatever the hell he's doing, and listening to music with his Adidas. And then I come in. I'm banging on the door, wanting to know, what the racket is. And I come in and the tight, apron and
sexy
looking
mom.
like a hot mom. And then he looks at me, and I look at him. We wink. Big deal. That's it. But it's just kind of a sick, perverse thing in a way.
That has a strange feel to it.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre.
Where D doesn't get a piece of mommy.
Ew.
Well, I guess what the message is if your mom looks like the chick from the cherry pie video, it's all right to have at her. All right. By the way, my mom yelled at me the other day for talking smack on the radio.
About what?
Well, I want to be, I should be fair, speaking of relationships. My mom has been real good for about 15 years. But when I get on the radio, she actually said this. She said, and don't hold the...
You're going to have to dent the book a little bit.
Just... I know. I know. We got into that. I didn't even know if I should bring this up. But my mother said... I went out to lunch with my mother like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And we're driving home in the car. And I don't know how we got onto it, but she said, you know what? I've heard what you say about me on the radio. And
what did you feel like right then?
It was like if a big, like in the Flintstones when Fred would turn to a big sucker. It's like that, except for I was driving. So she said, I've heard what you've said about me. As a matter of fact, I stopped listening to the radio because I tuned in like 2 nights in a row and heard you talking about me. And I don't want to meet Drew, she said, because I'm scared he's going to think of me as this person. And
shame on you.
I know. All right. So she said
it's the mythical mom you're talking about.
You don't
the one
think that mom
No,
listens.
really, it's the one you've internalized that you're mad at, not your present mom.
She said, listen, I've been pretty damn good for 15 or 20 years and trying like hell to make it up to you.
Yeah.
And that's, you should at least mention that.
Yeah.
So I said, okay.
will.
You're right. I should. This is wrong. I should say that. And then I swear to God, the next day we got a call from the people that were writing a book on, and the one woman is like an attorney. She said, "There's about 8 pages in here where you talk about your mom." I'm like, "Really? What'd I say?" And then, oh yeah, oh that's bad.
God.
And then she said, "Do you talk to your mom?" And I said, "I'm going to her house for dinner tonight." You may want to bring this up to her.
You may want to amend this a little bit, Anna.
All right. Well, we'll
big
do
trouble now.
We'll do a little amendment there.
Your poor mom. She's got to get rid of the airplane, the headphones, and then I'd love to meet
Don't
her.
make fun of my mom, please, Drew. You'll have to meet her one day, and be nice, would you? Julie.
Yes?
You're 16.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I have an ex-boyfriend. It was funny because you brought on the commercial, and he's been stalking me.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the cops on Tuesday because he hit me with his car. And
What were you in when he hit you with his car?
I was riding to work.
On a
bicycle.
Oh, my God.
He came up behind you?
He came up on side of me. He hit me head on.
Oh, my God.
And when I fell, my helmet flew 20 feet away from me, but my bike flew like 10 feet away from me. And I was able to get his license plate, and I told it to the cops, and then they wrote it on a disposable glove. And now they can't find the license plate number, and I can't remember it.
Okay, so let me get this straight. He hit you, meaning you're going one way on one street, and he was coming the other way.
Yeah,
So he ran head on into you.
yeah.
And was he trying to kill you?
Yeah, that's the second time he's tried.
What did he do the other time?
The other time he sideswiped me, and I flew off the bike.
Oh, my God.
Julie, I don't mean to laugh, but I think you better start taking the bus to work.
Or right on the side, right on the sidewalk.
You got to do something. I mean, if this guy's going to run you over every second time you get on your bike.
Well, I get a restraining order.
Yeah.
do the thing. I mean,
Julie,
Yeah?
if he was, don't take this the wrong way, but if I'm trying to kill someone who I'm coming up on a bike, so I kill him. I mean, I run him over. How come, was he really trying to run you over? Did he gas the car and plow into you, or was he just trying to scare you and knock you down?
Oh, he was trying to run me over, but I got into the ditch.
He needs to go to jail.
And why do you need to write down his license number?
Huh?
why don't, you know who he is. Why don't they just go get him?
Because he... Okay, let me see if I can explain this into technical terms.
Is this Tommy?
Huh?
No, it's not Tommy.
He's already in jail. He's good.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
And by the way, I hate to say, we were talking about this before. Tommy Lee's been on the show a couple times. Last time he was here, he let me drive his Ferrari. Seems like a nice guy to me, although I wouldn't want to date him. Go ahead, Julie.
Call the police.
I already did, and they won't do anything about it.
You need to get a restraining order.
Wait, hold on. How come... Oh, hold on. We have to have a little conference here, Julie.
There's something missing here.
Of course there's something missing.
there's some
The
piece of
guy
the story
tried to
missing.
kill me 2 times on my bike. The police won't do anything about it. He, basically just came up behind me or came up in front of me and hit me at full speed. He did it a second time. I was fine. And the police won't do anything about it. I had to write down the license number.
This isn't bogus.
No, there's something going on, but
there's something
she's
missing.
leaving some pieces out here.
Yeah.
Julie,
Yeah?
you know where the guy lives?
No,
Why not?
because he moved.
But you know his name.
Yeah.
Have they issued a warrant for him?
No, because they can't find his license plate number.
I don't never have known.
What
a
if he
warrant-
tried to kill you with something other than a car? What would they do?
Then they'd probably do something about it. But, that's how Pierce County is. I don't know. They've never...
Have you been in trouble with the law, Julie?
No,
Never.
never.
And how injured were you the 2 times he hit you with the bicycle?
The first time, I just had scrapes and bruises.
What? The first time, did he hit you head on?
No,
Swiped,
he
sideswiped. And the second time?
And the second time, he hit me head on.
And what happened to you?
I almost broke my leg.
Well, but you didn't.
No, it was just sprained really bad.
Did you go over, toppling over the top of the car?
No, I went off to the side because I was trying to head for the ditch.
This is like duel.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I don't. We're not legal experts here, nor are we part of the police force. You need to make sure that the appropriate authorities are involved in this. And
Can you call you? Were your parents? Where are your parents?
They're in bed.
Yeah, but
Do they know about
in
this?
general?
Do they know about this?
They know about it, and they're looking for his car. I know what it looks like.
What is the big thing with the car? Who
Yeah.
cares what the hell the car is?
The guy tries to kill you 2 times. They don't need to find the car. They need to find the guy who was driving the car.
If he tries to hit you with a candlestick and, crack your skull, what are they going to do? Look for the...
Look for the car again.
The candlestick?
They're
I
going
don't
to
know.
look for Professor Mustard in
Yeah, right.
In the
the
study.
library.
Totally.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah?
We keep telling. All we can keep telling you is to call the authorities. But if they keep telling you they're not listening, then there's something up. Although we've talked to you for 4 minutes and we think there's something fishy too, meaning something doesn't sound clear here.
Hello.
There's another thing.
What is the big thing that we need
Wait,
to know?
What is the other thing?
Oh, gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say this on the radio. I used to be an addict.
So you have a record with that?
No.
And so because you were an addict, people don't want to believe your story?
Oh, no, that's not it. That's another reason I can only figure why he's trying to do this to me. It's because I don't buy drugs from him anymore.
You don't buy drugs
money?
from your boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriend.
Do you owe him money?
Yeah, right.
No, I don't owe him money.
This also is
Another
nanny.
thing is he's probably jealous of my new boyfriend.
It doesn't make people try to kill each other, typically.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just scared.
Well, you need to have the authorities involved. I suspect you haven't made a full report, right?
Well, I gave him the description, and they did.
No, Julie, go make a report, get a restraining order, use the authorities. They are there to protect you, okay? You haven't done that yet. Go do it, okay? That's what's missing here. The missing ingredient is the police. The police haven't been notified.
Well, they did write down the
I know you're
license number
afraid
on the
about
glove.
having been an addict is not going to be a problem for you. Don't worry about that. I don't know if you violated some laws. You're afraid of coming in contact with police. Somebody's going to find something about you. Doesn't matter right now.
You never got busted, Julie?
He's only been busted once.
You.
Huh?
You.
Oh, have I ever gotten him busted?
Have you ever been busted?
No, I'm sorry. I'm
All
totally
right.
misunderstanding.
All right. Well, go in there and report it properly.
No, I don't have anything on my record.
Okay, good. Go in there and talk to the man. Okay? All right.
You got to do it.
I don't know what the hell was up with that. I believe her.
Well, it's a true story, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's just, there's a few missing ingredients there.
Mm-hmm. She's leaving out the parts in the story where she tried to kill him.
That could be one of the missing elements.
No,
yeah,
but the part she left out is she never reported to the police, probably.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Bobby?
Yeah.
You're here for the long haul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Sure, I guess.
Drew?
Yep. I'm leaving.
I know. Well, why don't you sell one of the calls here, though?
We're going to talk to Caitlin, who just recently had a drug habit, what she's experiencing right now.
Good.
You have 5 seconds.
Number 1-800-LOVE-191. Model, actress, smacktress, Bobbie Brown.
Yeah.
See her. Bobbie was engaged to Tommy Lee, and, well, she saw some of the abuse firsthand, long before Pamela did. Bobbie's got a few projects coming up, and there's a big article in this month's Cosmo that sort of chronicles her days, although Bobbie's not fond of it.
No.
Why not?
The title just sounds so funky. I don't know. The whole interview was supposed to give women, insight of like a pattern instead of just the second by second abuse. I wanted it to be more optimistic and talk more about the outcome and what happens after.
Got to talk about the patterns, though.
Yeah, you do.
Relationships with dad.
It was so detailed. It was kind of sad. Was
the guy from Warrant abusive?
No, he was just insecure.
Unavailable.
Yeah.
What's the Warrant? What are the Warrant boys up to these days?
Not a whole lot. They broke up, I think.
Did they make so much money that they don't have to work so much anymore?
No, it didn't work out that way.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, that's rough.
No, but I think Janie's trying to do a solo project right now.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I talked to my gardener last week, said he was trying to do a solo project.
Really?
By the way. Yeah.
Really? So's my, pedicure.
Everybody's doing a solo project.
Yeah.
Everyone in L.A. is doing a solo project. Caitlin.
Hi.
You're 24.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm a recovering drug addict, and ever since I quit, I have severe anxiety attacks.
How long ago did you quit?
13 months.
And what was the drug?
Cocaine and speed.
That's a real common symptom. Sometimes those symptoms don't even come on until 5 years after you stop. But panic attacks, mood disturbances, high levels of anxiety seem to be related to the biological injury, particularly caused by cocaine. Mm-hmm. So it's not all that uncommon. The other thing is if people are not practicing a program, if they stop drugs and don't get involved in recovery, then they really have no coping skills to deal with some rather primitive feelings. And unless you get some sort of formal structure, of course you're going to have a lot of unpleasant feelings and panic because there's nothing there for you to call upon to cope with these feelings. Mm-hmm. When you don't replace the drug with something, there's nothing there other than those unpleasant feelings that you would establish your relationship with your drugs for in the very first place.
How long did you do the speed and the coke?
About 2 years.
And are you in a program now?
No.
Yeah, so you got to get in a program. I mean, part of the program is designed to help deal with these feelings. I mean, were you using alcohol before cocaine and speed?
Not excessively.
But regularly?
Not really.
Okay. Well, some of this is the biology. Some of it may need treatment, but you really can't say until you get involved in treatment effectively in the recovery process. And if you're still having symptoms after you get around your fourth, fifth step, then that's an important time to see a doctor about it. If you want to see a doctor in the meantime, you can, but be sure, I feel very strongly that addicts should stay away from the benzodiazepine medications, the Valium-type drugs, the Klonopin, Xanax.
I always want to try one of those Valiums. Bobby,
you've had the Restorel, same idea.
Oh, I have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember, though. Were you ever into drugs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What were you into?
Speed, coke.
Right. Ugh. I can't stand that. Everyone is...
You know what really helped is I have ADHD and also was depressed, and I got on antidepressants, and that really helped with that anxiety
Paxil.
type. I tried Zoloft, and it really worked for me, and then I went on Wellbutrin, and that's been great.
Are you on Wellbutrin and Zoloft? Or
No,
just one?
just Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin is shown to be particularly effective after cocaine in people with ADD.
really good.
That's exactly who that drug is for.
Yep.
They were also using adding Wellbutrin to the serotonin drugs like Zoloft and Prozac to reverse the drop in sex drive that people get from those drugs.
Yeah.
You haven't dated in 3 years?
No.
Really?
She was on Zoloft for 3 years.
I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've had some sex in that 3 years, right?
Didn't have sex for 2 years. I recently had sex. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, so you find a new guy, or did you just pay for it?
It was one of those "can I ride the bike again" thing. You know what I mean? It was a curiosity. Am I capable of? And it was just a friend, and I did, and it's like it never happened. It was fine.
How come I'm never around when the woman's trying to climb back on the horse, so to speak? You know what I mean? I'm never that guy. I walk in, I'm the next relationship where she found out that she didn't enjoy sex. So no boyfriends, no nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing.
But you had a pretty good ride there for a while. Pretty good run going. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, are you getting a lot of crap now? I just thought about this, but with this Tommy Lee, Pamela sex video coming out, and, of course, then the Tommy Lee big penis thing, I'd imagine anyone who had a relationship with him immediately is going to get a bunch of big penis questions as well.
All the time.
Is that what happened?
If I ever go to a party, it's like, Bobbie's here, let's put that tape on. I'm not kidding. It's the
Really?
weirdest thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing. I'm like, I'd been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. I live that life. I really don't need to see the video.
Right.
It's really disturbing. I don't even dig it.
Are you in recovery now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you go to? CA?
Yeah, NA.
Oh, they're the best-looking women at CA, especially in the like West Hollywood one.
No, really?
Oh, yes.
That's nice.
Oh, well,
That's where you go to cruise.
guess I don't need to be going to that one.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But see, I was just thinking about the big penis thing here for
All
right, just
here
one
we
second.
go. Okay, go ahead, ask Adam.
I'm just saying, the guy, the next guy's got to be a little bit intimidated
I get
because
it
he's
all the
putting two
time.
and two together,
Yeah, I always get that. Well, I know you dated Tommy, and I'm just not like that. And I'm like, oh God, here we go with the.
But you
penis
don't
story
care,
again.
right?
No, it's not an issue. It's so not an issue with women. Period.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Roxanne,
Yes.
you're 18.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's like a giant love triangle, and it's distressing to me because this all happened last summer, and it just got brought up today because of a certain specific thing that happened.
Try in about 2 or 3 sentences to bring us into the loop here.
All right. Last summer, my best friend, she says she fell in love with this older guy. She was 16, and he was 23 years old.
And?
And, well, they ended up getting together. She was a runaway. She ran from her home because, I guess...
Dad was abusing her.
Abusive or something.
Something. By the way, kids that run away from home are always being abused by the parents. Kids do not run away home and stay away without some abuse going on.
Yeah, a lot of kids run away from home for... Actually, I ran away from home one night, and I slept in the car in the driveway, and then I came back the next day. But they don't go away and stay away.
It's just this guy had his own apartment, and...
So you got together with this guy too, right? Is that the story?
Yeah, that's the story.
This guy is a predator, abusive scumbag.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But the situation now is that she got pregnant, and she's in the delivery room right now having the baby. And that's what brought the whole situation up, is that this guy is just now in jail. He's in jail now for, I believe he got 2 more girls pregnant under the age.
That's nice.
Great.
And he's getting out the end of August. I couldn't believe that he only got a couple months.
Isn't that nice?
Well, I'll tell you, if they'd found a joint in his wallet, they would have tacked a nice mandatory 5 years onto that. But
That's
just
crazy.
the fact that he's destroying society instead of destroying his own lungs, that's not such an issue.
Destroying other people's lives and society.
That's right.
And when you bring up destroying lives, he destroyed me and
All
hers
right, all right.
also.
Roxanne, stay focused
Well,
here. What's the
your
question?
dad destroyed yours first.
Yes, your dad.
Because you wouldn't have gotten hooked up with him if your dad wasn't a prick.
Her dad, I'm going to guess, was just not available. He left or something when we were really young?
Yeah.
How did I know that?
You're good
All right, Drew, I'm not giving you $1 for that, genius. Of course. She
No, but I knew it
shacked
wasn't
up with some
it's
guy.
not the abusive dad. It's just, you can just hear it in her voice. It's the absent dad thing.
All right.
But the situation now is he's mailing me from jail, telling me that he loves me and all this stuff.
All
and
right.
then,
You hand that over to the police. Give those letters to the police.
yeah, and then there's another problem is that he's having his best friends come to my house.
Roxanne, get yourself out of this. I'm telling you.
But I don't understand how I can call the police on somebody that's already in jail.
Easy. They do it all the time. Believe me, half these guys that end up getting busted for murder were in jail for some other rap, and they started talking to their cellmate, and then their cellmate pigeoned them out, and then they ended up getting brought up for murder, and they stay in there. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Please, save anything he sends you and give it to the authorities. This guy's a predator. And believe me, this is the tip of the iceberg with this guy. You will get drawn in, and then you're really going to be sorry.
Roxanne, please. There's no but.
Push away any feelings for this guy
Yeah,
at
there's
all.
no but, Roxanne. Bobby, get through to her. We can't reach her.
There
Help
used
us.
to be feelings, but there's none there anymore.
Well, there must be something, though, because you're not pushing it away, you know? Totally just get rid of everything and everybody. And if anybody comes to your house, call the police. Those people don't need to be coming to your house.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, just reject it. Reject everything.
But do you understand why the guy's in prison?
Yes.
It's not insurance fraud. You understand?
Yeah.
It's not a white-collar crime. He didn't cheat some old folks out of their retirement money. He's in prison for the exact same thing he wants to start up with you as soon as he gets out.
Yeah.
You're going to be pregnant in living in some safe house for abused girlfriends or wives in 6 months. Get the hell out of this guy's crosshairs. Believe me, you're his next victim. Save everything he gives you and give it to the police.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this society, and I hate men.
That reiterates why I don't like people. I'm kidding.
You don't, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
I give it about another 5 years before you're ready for a man my speed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Keep my number.
No. I've never been attractive to women like this.
Oh, you're so crazy.
No, I never have.
With that attitude.
That's all right.
Now she likes you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to break.
Loveline. Be right back.
Drew, phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Bobbie Brown is our guest tonight. Bobbie was a model. You remember her from a Warrant video or two. What other stuff do we remember you from?
I did a lot of Married with Children, and I did Just Shoot Me, the Drew Carey Show, News Radio, Hits, Head Over Heels, Mike Hammer. Been doing a lot of TV this year.
A lot of acting there.
Yeah.
We did, what the hell is that
Fired
show?
Up.
We did Fired Up, and they canceled the show the next day.
Cool.
And our episode never made the air, did it, Drew?
That happened with me for one show. That sucks.
Yeah, but we're 1 for 1.
Oh.
100% of the sitcoms Drew and I have done have not made it to the air and have been canceled. We're now the kiss of death, and I believe that's why we're not getting other calls for other sitcoms, Drew.
Could be.
That's all right. Anyway, Bobbie was married to the guy from Warrant for a while and doing a little cherry pie thing, and then got hooked up with Tommy Lee and wrote a little article, or actually, the Cosmo writers wrote a article on her in Cosmo this month about how Tommy was perpetrating a little abuse against her long before. Well, not long before, but somewhat before Pamela Lee.
Actually, 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah, we broke up, and he married her 4 days later.
Oh, my God. He married her 4 days later?
Pretty much, yeah.
So was he dating both of you at the same time or something?
Yeah, we had started to see each other kind of again, and she was kind of a threat, like, oh, now Pam wants to go out with me. They got married February 19th, and we broke up on the 1st of January.
Mm-hmm.
So we had been talking after that, but when so basically when it was the done deal, he ran off to Mexico, and they got married.
I can't I can't juggle women, not because I don't want to, just because I have no energy.
You get too tired.
It's not an energy issue. It's slothfulness, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
I mean, you have stamina, just you're lazy.
Right. Yeah. I might be able to satisfy them sexually, but I have one girlfriend that I see twice a week, and it's too much.
Gosh.
I couldn't imagine, seeing two. I wouldn't know what to do with them. I guess you have to have that big penis or lots of energy that way. I don't have that. I just don't. I like to watch TV in my underpants. That's what I do.
That's great, Adam.
I could see myself with two TVs.
Right,
But
right.
I really couldn't see myself with two women. But I could see myself with two women at one time.
Could you?
I have seen myself with two women
Have
at
you?
one time. Not with my eyes open, but when they were closed.
Right.
Actually, I don't know why I even do a threesome. I should just do a fivesome. I mean, as long as I'm whacking off, you might as well also make it the entire cast of Baywatch or Save the Bell or whatever.
Save the Bell.
Whatever the theme is. All right.
Mike, thank you. Jane?
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, I've been married for 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the last 5 have not been that great. My husband's chronically depressed. About, I'd say 3 years ago, he started smoking marijuana about 3 times a day.
Mm-mm.
So with the combination...
Was he smoking pot regularly before that?
I don't think so. It was more intermittent. But around 3 years ago...
I'll tell you what, he lost what? Go ahead.
Oh, no. He lost his job,
Yeah.
and things sort of slid downhill from there.
Marijuana addiction usually can escalate, but it usually doesn't go from very occasional to very heavy. It's usually daily and then daily heavy.
Well, it could have been daily, maybe once a day. It's possible.
That is daily, Shane. That's all it takes to get.
And then
People who
I don't
smoke
know.
and people who smoke pot daily get profoundly depressed. That is the biology of the drug. And when they try to stop, they even get more depressed. So if he is already depressed and smoking pot heavily, I would urge you to get him to some professional help. I have lost patients to the depression that occurs after marijuana.
Well, he's been seeing a psychiatrist for about 8 years.
Well,
and he's on Paxil, but as far as I know, they never ask him about his drug use.
Well, they have no idea he's an addict then. They need to know about this. It is essential. And I'm telling you, I had a patient just kill himself a couple weeks ago because in marijuana abstinence. The depressions are profound, and there's a high incidence of suicidality for the
So
first 6
I don't think he
months.
has any intention of stopping.
Well, he's not going to get better. You
Right.
need.
We had a couple of listeners kill themselves, too, when Drew
Really?
was droning on about marijuana
No, that was
3
you.
nights ago.
That
That
was
was
you,
me?
yeah.
No.
So, Jane, you need to bring some consequences to bear to get him to wake up about this.
Well, I've decided that I'm already going to leave the relationship, but I'm in it because, I've been listening to you guys for about a year, and you're always saying, stay for the kids, stay for the kids. And at this point, we haven't had sex for 3 years, probably.
Well, we
I
usually,
have no
our
right.
motto is come for the pot, but stay for the kids.
Oh, boy.
And it sounds now like it's a codependent relationship because I'm arranging my whole life around,
Of course it is. It has always been, though.
for him to live because he has no way
Jane, it has always been that way, though. It's progressing as this illness tends to progress. You have something to say, Bobbie? You see him?
I would get out. I would leave.
But she's got, how many kids do you have?
of. They're 8 and 10 now.
I don't necessarily believe stay for the kids motto.
Here's what
I really don't.
I don't believe in divorce.
You don't?
Just if they're kids.
Mhm.
And leaving, Jane, is going to leave. You're going to leave and find another guy just like this. That's what people tend to do. So,
well, that's true.
I don't know about that.
I understand, but here's what I would suggest you do, and I suggest anybody in these sorts of situations do, is you threaten to leave, you intend to leave,
Right.
if he doesn't change, and you work on yourself. Go to some Al-Anon or Koanon or some kind of meeting, or get yourself a therapist and start working on yourself. And as you get better, a strange thing tends to happen. The addict sees you emotionally leaving them, and very often that compels them to get better too, and they get into their own treatment. If you can both get better, there's hope for this relationship. You can find happiness again together. And for God's sakes, on behalf of your kids, at least make an effort at this, or else you're going to go back out and do the same thing all over again, because that's what people do.
Well, women spend more time on their nails than they do in a relationship, and guys spend more time on their cars than they do in a relationship.
No, the latter is true.
But that sounded cool, didn't it?
No.
Didn't sound like a cool little soundbite?
Yeah, it was empty.
All right. It sounded neat, though. I never said it before, but I was going to
give it
ask
up,
Bobbie.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Bobbie.
Yeah.
Did your parents get divorced?
Yes.
How old were you?
It was ninth grade. They were together for 16 years.
Mm-hmm. And your dad abused your mom?
Mm-hmm.
He was an alcoholic,
Mhm.
physically abusive.
Very.
Now, what happened when they broke up?
Let me finish the break. I want to break up thing with Jane, our last caller, was if the addict does not get better, then leave.
Oh, yeah.
Then leave.
Okay.
And then keep working on yourself.
Yeah.
All right. No.
But give it a chance for behalf of the kids.
Good
Go ahead.
enough,
I'm
right
sorry. I will.
All right. So your parents broke up when you were in the 9th grade.
Yeah.
And who'd you live with?
My mom.
And did your mom go out and get into another relationship?
Not right away, and she married a wonderful, wonderful man.
Really?
They've been together for about 14 years, and he would never raise his voice to her, a hand to her. She's on
And
a
she became an
pedestal.
alcoholic.
No, she's great. I mean, they have a fabulous relationship. She's
Well,
an amazing person who loves us.
I guess she broke up with your dad because she was at the point where she was sick of putting up with it, and that was a healthy part of her, and so she got rid of this guy.
And she asked me, I think she could pretty much waited till we got old enough to she was afraid to leave, I think, for us. And I honestly was like, Mom, do it. Be happy. Get out. He's not changing.
Did you have a stepbrother?
I have a half brother and I have a real brother. And my little brother didn't get to see anything because when stuff went down in my house, I would just take him in my room into my closet.
Right.
So he doesn't really, we talk about that now. And I'm thankful he never saw it. And I protected him. We're 8 years apart. So
your stepdad's a prince?
My stepdad is fabulous.
Never came on to you?
No, please.
Well,
give me a
I
break.
mean, it's the cherry pie chick in
Oh,
the 9th
no.
grade. I mean,
No. He's
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's wrong, but I mean, it happens.
Okay, Adam.
You understand? I have to ask the tough question. A couple of beers. You're up late.
Jennifer.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay. I have this boyfriend, and we've been together for, let's say, 4 months, I think. And recently, about 2 months ago, we became sexually active. And everything was okay. Everything was all good. About a week and a half ago, I noticed some problems, starting to happen. What would happen was we'd be together, and, he'd be hard, and within 2 minutes, he'd be ready to ejaculate already, which was really weird because, he never did that before, maybe a half an hour or 45 minutes. But this was, about 2 to 3 minutes. And then he would ejaculate, and that was it, and he'd try to get hard again, and he couldn't. And we'd both, do different things, and he couldn't get hard again. And he'd constantly sit there and be like, God, F word this and F word that. I can't believe this, and he'd scoff, and I'd be like, it's okay, it's cool, because if he's depressed or anything, that's not going to help him, So I'd be like, no, don't stress out, it's okay. And I don't know.
What's your question?
My question is, is there an explanation, why? I came up with a theory that maybe it was because he was drinking, and when we'd go to do something, it was alcohol.
You mean in the past?
No. I'm saying in this last week and a half or so.
Yeah, being drunk doesn't make you have an early climax.
Typically, but it could. I doubt that's what it is, though. Is he more into the relationship? What?
Maybe, I'm not, pleasing him.
Don't blame yourself.
No, it's nothing to do with you. It's
How
nothing
can your
to do with
theory
you.
be I'm not pleasing him when he has an orgasm in 2 minutes?
Well, it's not
because
you.
he won't get hard again after that.
That's normal physiology. That has nothing to do with anything else other than how the male works.
Sometimes that happens.
Because it's been the last week and a half. We try, and he won't. It's
Right, something is going on, and it's.
I wonder if it's that he was very anxious before, and maybe he was, sort of. This is more his normal level of functioning now.
See, well,
it's an interesting point.
I don't know. We've been sexually active for about 2 months, and just this last week, it's been. I was wondering if he had extra stress or something. Could maybe help.
All reasonable questions. I just suggest you guys keep working on it and get him to not focus on it so much, and find ways to keep yourselves intimate and happy. And He's a little too focused on the performance aspects, I suspect, and also a little too anxious about this. I mean, his concern about it happening again could make it happen again.
And Jennifer spending the better part of her waking hours focusing on this is not helping him
isn't
either.
It amazing the way women take responsibility for this, right? It's her fault. She immediately assumes it's hers.
Yeah, they do.
Well, God bless them. And listen,
Thank
if a woman starts having, if you, I'll just use you for a second. Here's an example, Bob.
Okay.
If we started having sex, say like an hour, wouldn't be home time, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it lasted for an hour, and then 6 months from now, you were having an orgasm. Instead of taking an hour for you to have an orgasm, you're having an orgasm in 2 minutes. I'd look at that as me getting progressively better and sort of honing my skills. Dialing it in, as it were. I'd be proud of that. I'd be bragging about that. Hey, you know that cherry pie chick? First time we had sex, took her an hour to have the big O. Last night, took her 5 minutes.
I think it's a little different for men, but I think women generally don't like the full-on fest anyway. Hour... What?
Right.
I think that's right.
Yeah, women don't like to be going...
At this point, we haven't made this point on this show.
No.
Because men are always measuring against their time and stuff.
No, women don't like that marathon.
Unless it's oral sex. Then it's all right.
To some, not necessarily all, but I think, spontaneity is the key, whatever, how long it lasts.
All right, but the point is don't dissect every move your partner makes sexually. It's all right. I mean, you weren't questioning it when it took him a half hour 2 months ago. Now it's taking him 5 minutes. Don't question it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Sort of work with it.
Work with it a little.
Yeah,
it'll go a different
Don't look
direction.
at it as something wrong necessarily.
Right.
Right. Raven.
Yeah?
You're 28.
Yes.
You're on with Bobbie Brown.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Well, actually, I'm having this problem. I'm glad you're on the show.
Oh, thanks.
My thing is when I'm in a relationship, I can't get through the vulnerability stage.
Right.
Uh-oh. Drew's got $1 out already, everybody.
Say what?
He's gambling on you. Is that true, Drew?
It's the voice.
Huh? The voice? Say something for me.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep
What?
talking.
World's
Okay.
dumbest callers.
No,
We really do.
Let's talk. Don't
Okay,
no betting.
what do you mean by vulnerable? Like giving yourself 100%?
Okay, how do you explain the vulnerable stage?
That's a nationality thing.
You're getting...
What's your nationality, Raven?
Raven?
Yes, I'm Indian and Mexican.
Okay, because there's different countries and the people that come from them, they would have to be their nationality. So Indian and Mexican.
Yes.
Okay. See, Drew, there's nothing wrong with her. It's just a nationality thing.
Okay.
Sometimes when Drew,
my voice? What's going on?
when Drew speaks to a woman that's let's say over 16, especially 28, and she has sort of a little girl voice, Drew thinks something's up with her, that her emotional development has been stunted.
No, I'm very petite, very little. I have a little voice too.
And you have that ethnicity mixture going for you, and that's what I would chalk it up to, Drew.
All right, you picked it up.
All right, so let's keep going.
Okay, vulnerable. Meaning?
Let's see. You get in a relationship, you start to communicate, and then you start to open up.
Right.
When somebody starts to ask me questions or start to open up, I automatically ambush the relationship.
Right.
Subconsciously.
Right.
You sabotage it.
Exactly.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, everybody does it.
That's what, and I'm listening to you. I'm feeling a lot like you. Like I don't really want to be around men, and I'm not really liking people at this moment in life.
It's a self-protection
I
mechanism.
don't have my wallet with me, Drew.
It's protecting your heart. You've obviously been hurt by someone in the past.
All right, let's do gentlemen. Let's do some
dad.
Oh,
Dad. You think it's my dad?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, my dad, I haven't had a dad.
There you go.
How old were you when he left?
My parents got divorced, I think, when I was 5, so I didn't really know him then.
Not having a dad...
And number two, he committed suicide when I was in high school, and I just got back from seeing him.
That's fine.
All right.
Hey,
So this is
listen,
all-
I didn't really know the guy, so it's...
All right, quiet down for a
But
second.
let me tell you something. You did.
That's enough.
Yeah. Before you were 5, those are the really extraordinarily deepest kinds of contacts with a father.
Well, can I tell you one more thing about me? When I was 3 years old, I was burnt, and I lost my memory for 3 years.
3 years subsequently?
Excuse me?
3 years from 3 to 6, you lost that period of time? Or from 0 to 3?
From 0 to 3.
Well, that's a period of time.
Screw that.
Yeah, most
What were you
people
doing? You're cramping on yourself and staring at a mobile.
No.
You weren't doing anything from 0 to 3.
How were you burned?
How was I burnt? Scalding water with second, third degree burn.
How'd that happen?
I blew, it was in Arizona, I blew over in the wind onto a scalding pot of water.
You blew
How
over.
did you blow over? Your mother let you go?
Hold on a second.
This is more of that concrete stuff again.
Oh, it was one of those wind-driven accidents? She blew over into a pot of boiling water. All right, we're not done speaking of Raven for a second. Drew and I were just talking during our last bathroom break about people's concrete thinking.
How are you burned? Something hot got me. Something hot touched my skin.
No, I say it's an issue with your dad. Aha, smart guy. My dad committed suicide when I was 5, so there. It wasn't my dad. Yeah. It's like saying, geez, it sounds like you got a problem with your liver. I have no liver.
It was removed.
It was removed because I got in an accident. So, you're not so smart after all, are you? All right, we don't mean to make fun of someone whose dad committed suicide. And how many shows, by the way, would someone have the balls to make fun of someone who was burnt horribly when they were 3 and their dad committed suicide? We're horrible people, and I include Bobbie and Drew when I say that.
Wait. Look, the point is we will get to the bottom of this, and we'll do it after the break, though.
We will?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just say one thing to Raven. Raven?
Yeah.
All right, don't... are the windows closed?
What windows?
Do you have windows in your home?
Yes.
Are they closed?
No.
They're open?
Yes.
All right, be very careful.
Okay.
Okay. I want a gust of wind to come
And
up.
what we were making fun of, by the way, is the defenses. And the defenses are worthy of ridicule.
Oh, they are?
Defensiveness?
Oh,
absolutely.
Thanks. Okay. We'll be back. We'll finish things up with Raven. Adam Carolla, that's Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Model, actress, Bobbie Brown is in here tonight. Bobbie is, Bobbie had a article in Cosmo that she, interview in Cosmo, this month's Cosmo, where she was talking about her life and times with Tommy Lee and how there was some abuse going on back then, even before the Pamela Lee abuse that was much publicized just a few months ago. And I guess Tommy's in prison now.
Yeah.
And how long is he in for?
I think they said 9 months.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking earlier today, I'm generally against folks going to prison. Like, this is switching topics just a little bit for stuff like drug abuse and stuff. On the other hand, a lot of people I know, it saved their life. Because
and yet people
they were going to OD, they were going to die.
The consequences save their life. I'm not sure the penal system does, because there are still drugs being done in prison. Believe me.
Yeah.
Every one of them. I treat a lot of addicts after they come out of prison, and they all say, "Oh, it's no problem getting heroin." But I don't know how if you've talked to these people in jail, but every one of them tells me. Well, they go. The conversation go like this. Well, I'm curious. How do they get it? How do you guys get the heroin? Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Every single one of them, same answer. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
Did you get that too?
Yeah.
I don't know what they do to get
Is it because like they're going to
Someone
get hurt?
puts it in their ass, I think.
Oh gosh.
Well, I don't know. That's how you smuggle stuff in. I've seen the movies.
It's the Keister syndrome.
That's right.
I think that probably a couple of the police are involved. A couple of bad cops.
You don't want to know.
I don't want. Yeah.
Well, why should prison be different than any other aspect of life? Which is, if you got a guy who's making $45,000 a year, and you give him a chance to make another $50,000 for not a whole lot of work, there's a certain percentage of people that are going to fold to the pressure and do it. Of course.
Great.
Raven.
Yes.
Okay, so the deal with Raven is Raven's 28. Her dad committed suicide, and she was burnt badly when she was 3. And I want to get this story right. A wind kicked up and blew you into some hot water?
Yes, when we were camping.
Was it on a fire or something?
No, they put the scalding water by the river so the river would cool it off. And they have gusts of winds in Arizona, and I was 3 years old in those lawn chairs, and it blew me over. And I was wearing one of those, they weren't fire retardant then, but the Winnie the Pooh little pajamas with the feet in them, and it sucked in all the hot water like a sponge.
Ugh.
And when I went to take off the clothes, my skin came off.
Yeah. How are you now?
I'm fine.
Oh, really? Oh, good. All right. So your question is why do you shut down with guys at the beginning of or as soon as you start getting into a relationship? Why do you sabotage the relationship?
Right.
And this is Psychology 101, which is your dad, who's sort of your model for all your male relationships, left the family and then killed himself. I mean, it was the biggest loss ever.
And this is the same guy that you were connecting to as a young child, and who knows what the quality of that relationship was, and who knows what you saw go down between you and your mom. Between him and your mom.
But the point is you connected with a guy when you were a kid, and the guy killed himself. So now you're really scared to connect with anybody for fear you might have the same loss.
I'm not sure it's that.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
But she's probably always been this way. This is something from all the way back. I mean, it's the same guy that is abandoning her ultimately with suicide.
Well, how does one keep from doing that? Right? Is that what you want to know?
Right.
Because you want to have a substantial relationship. You want to be able to be open.
I would like to be in a relationship someday.
Yeah.
Well, the easy answer, and this is not meant to be glib, but the first thing you can do is, now that you have some awareness about this, is not sabotage your relationships. The problem is the one that you're going to choose not to sabotage with, the one you feel comfortable enough to do that with,
It's going to be a butt.
probably going to be the one that's not going to be available.
Yes, I do that.
Okay, so what should she do?
I panic.
Hang on.
What should she do? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I mean, I think find a guy that you're not, don't feel extremely attracted to. I mean, these sort of attractions can be somewhat dysfunctional in themselves. Somebody you seem to have something in common with, that you feel comfortable with. And
a big loser.
As far as you're concerned, maybe a loser, but in fact, in reality, maybe somewhat of a winner, at least emotionally. And try to control yourself. Don't sabotage. And get in a little bit. You may not be able to go too far, but maybe you can make some progress in being able to connect in a real way.
It takes place over a number of relationships.
Maybe.
I mean, you're probably not going to cure this whole thing in one relationship.
No. Which is sad.
And if you can't, I mean, you're 28.
I'm 28 too. So.
Yeah, I mean, therapy is, that's what that's about. Is
You
to help you.
listen, anytime when your parents kills themselves, that's therapy. That's mandatory 2 years.
But I was wondering, when you asked me about my father, I thought because maybe you thought maybe he was sexually abusing me.
No.
And so that's what I was saying.
No, when you said you
never
couldn't
really existed in my life.
When you said you couldn't connect with a guy, I knew you didn't connect with your dad.
Or you had connected, but the pain of the loss is something you're still defending against. Something along those lines.
I really didn't. Mom, I didn't even cry. Mourn over it all.
Yeah, because you'd already lost him a long time ago. And that was
I really never had him.
No, you had him.
And the reason I brought
Listen,
up
everybody has their parents just by virtue of the fact that they're their parents at some point.
Right. Even if it's in a fantasy way, they internalize some parent object.
Well, the reason I also brought up the memory loss is because I never regained that memory.
0 to 3.
Right.
Yeah, but 0 to 3.
Nobody knows what
the 3 years.
Forget about it.
No, most people don't actually remember that time.
I have no idea. 0 to 3, 0 to 13. I don't remember what I was doing.
I'm 3 years behind in all through school.
Yeah, but again, having a serious illness can cause you just to developmentally stop for a while you heal from the illness. I mean, I was talking earlier tonight about my son that had the brain surgery. He had was 6 months behind for a while before he caught up, and then caught up.
Okay, 3 words: therapy. Right?
Right.
See, I'd be a good guy for Bobbie because she's not terribly attracted to me, but that means I'm Mr. Right.
Oh my gosh.
Emily.
Yes.
You're 20.
Yep.
You still go for the guys with the big hair, Bobbie?
That would be a negative.
Not into that anymore.
No.
But Warren had big hair, right?
Very.
Hey, when a guy has hair
farmers.
When a guy has that kind of hair, does it take him a while to get out of the house in the morning?
Oh yeah, crowding the mirror for sure. Yeah.
And you had some hair going on back then too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I had pretty big white hair.
You guys had a lot of hair time.
Yeah.
Did you guys sit around and talk about your hair?
You know what? Probably. I don't remember.
Emily?
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yep.
What's going on?
Well, I'm calling to ask what a good way is to find out if a male friend is interested in more than just our friendship, maybe like something more romantic.
Mm-hmm. He'll try to hump you when you're sleeping. That's how guys work.
Well...
Or some symbolic equivalent.
Yes. I'll get to the bottom of this. How did you meet him? Who initiated this friendship?
Well, we kind of just fell into it. We met in high school.
Yeah.
And we became good friends.
You initiated
it, right?
Right.
I initiated?
The friendship.
I don't know. I honestly can't remember. It was like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Were you excited to talk to him and be around him back then?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. Well, everyone...
Aren't you attracted to him?
No.
You're not attracted to him?
Right now, you mean?
Yeah.
Right now,
Okay. No.
I'm not really sure right now.
And
Back then, I wasn't.
Okay.
And,
So maybe he did.
What?
We're talking to ourselves here. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we've been friends for a couple of years, and it's been kind of this on and off kind of, is there something there, is there not something there? And a lot of our friends have been, have said that, you two should get together.
Does he have girlfriends?
No.
Has he ever had a girlfriend?
No. Actually, I've never heard him talk about someone
He wants you.
What?
Or he's gay.
Emily?
Yeah?
Do you think he likes the lads?
No, he does not.
No, he likes the ladies?
Definitely likes the ladies.
I think he likes you.
But he's never spoken of them?
Well, there has never been anybody serious at all. He's never really
Yeah,
dated.
but does he talk about girls all the time?
Not until I ask.
Have you ever been camping with him?
You don't think?
No?
What?
Have you ever been camping with him?
No.
No. Has he ever been drunk around you?
No, and he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to be drunk around you?
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. Why not?
What does he say?
He said that the way that we get along, he said that probably wouldn't be a good idea.
He wants to be with her, don't you think?
Yeah. When a guy says, I don't want to be around you when I'm drunk because I may make a move.
Well, he didn't say he would make a move. He just said that probably wouldn't
Or
be a good
he's
idea.
afraid of what he might tell her about himself.
Yeah, because don't they
About
all
being
just
gay?
spit it out?
Yeah.
No.
Is that what you feel?
All right, we need to talk to him, Emily. Do you have his phone number? Do you have the number over at the Y?
No, wait, are you telling me you think he's gay?
Well, that's Drew's angle. I don't think so.
I don't think so, but Dr. Drew thinks he is.
He's certainly he's no operator. It's not James Bond, that's for sure.
Dr. Drew, why do you think he's gay?
You've known him since he was 18, 17?
Yeah.
Most female male friends around that age do an awful lot of talking about their interpersonal relationship. That's what they talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about girls, talk about guys. And this guy has not mentioned girls spontaneously ever.
And they make a move on whoever they're around.
He doesn't.
Well, now you're making excuses, Emily. You're, well, well, now we need to talk to him. We need to find out what's going on.
All right. We're going to put you on hold.
Okay.
We'll get his phone number. And we'll get to the bottom of this. It's all right. Nothing wrong with the truth. I unless it involves me, I think he may be attracted to her.
They're just, again, this is one of those stories where something's missing.
Right.
Something about the story is not fitting, so.
All right. Arthur.
Yeah, hello.
You're 19.
Yep.
What's going on?
Well, lately at work I've been introduced to someone. Found out I was interested in her. Discovered pretty rapidly after that she was married, and ever since then I've just been developing more of an interest in her, finding out more about her.
Yeah.
But she's married, and I'm curious how I should proceed.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, full reverse.
She's married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is she
But she's not married to me.
Is she indicating to you that she's interested in you?
She hasn't indicated that she's not or that it's a problem.
All right.
Okay, can I tell you something? I'm going to give this to all men. Can I just say something?
You have some experience with this?
No, a woman will flirt with you, not because they want you to kiss her, but because they want you to want to. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's a very valid point. Women like, especially if the relationship that they're currently in isn't that great, they love to be attractive to men.
Well,
this is why women wear lingerie, by the way. I mean, women don't think right. You know, you say to women, you just spent $80 on a pair of panties. You're in, and now you're putting a skirt over it. Who's going to see it? I know I'm wearing it. It makes me feel sexy. What kind of retarded logic is that? If I spent $80 on a pair of underpants and wear them outside of the pants, I'd probably wear them on my head. I wouldn't even wear them on the pants. I'd have to talk to me through one of the leg holes. and I would eat through the pee hole.
The fly.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, that's great.
Well, given that, if you're saying that...
But she's not attracted. I mean, she hasn't said anything to you like she wants to date you, has she?
No.
I mean, what are you basing this on? Here's what I'm asking you. Everyone knows people that are married, yet they don't think of them that way. Why do you think of her this way?
Just too many similarities and tastes.
How old is she?
28.
Does she complain about her marriage?
Kind of vaguely.
No, Arthur, don't get into that kind of mess. Don't do it.
Don't even open
He doesn't. He can't get in. She doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Even if she did, it's not a good thing to,
She's good looking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys do this. They just find someone who's good looking and decide decide they should be involved. And she's not even laying down any hints to you, Arthur. Is
she? I'm pretty obtuse. I could be missing them. But,
Arthur, he's saying, I'm real thick, so she's probably laying down all sorts of real overt clues.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
That I'm missing. Yeah.
I wouldn't pursue it.
Put denial into being thick, too, as long as you're giving yourself attributes, Arthur.
But failing that, how harmful do you think it would be to just stay friends and see how that proceeds?
Here's the deal. There's besides just a whole sort of moral issue, there's a decent chance that the guy may kill you. And there's the most likely chance is that she's not interested at all, and you're 19, you're just banging your head against the wall. Go find yourself someone who's 19 and single, and go have sex with them.
There you go. That's it.
Where do you work, Arthur?
I work with computers.
Oh, yeah. And Arthur, you're one of those guys, you don't get out much, right?
Oh, probably you could say that.
You don't talk to many women.
Actually, quite a few.
At work.
You talk to them, but you don't really talk to them.
Not socially.
No, I very rarely find ones that I'm interested in.
Right.
Talk to them briefly. And
all right, Arthur, I'm going to impart some very important advice to you that's going to change your life. Let me explain the syndrome that you suffer. You don't have a lot of contact with women. There's a lot of guys this way, and there's women this way, too. So when they do find somebody that they have some contact with, that they've already broached they've broken the ice with.
The barrier, yeah.
And they're discussing things with, and they're talking about life and family and mutual interests.
Fantasy.
And all that. This becomes the only person who they've successfully struck a conversation up with. And because they can't just head out on the weekend to a pool hall and pick up a couple of chicks at the bar, this becomes their number one fantasy and priority. And basically, this becomes the one person. So it doesn't matter if they're married. It doesn't matter if they have a family. It doesn't matter if their husband works in the next stall over from theirs. This becomes the number one fantasy.
That's how stalking develops. The fantasy has to cooperate with the reality.
And then basically...
the reality has to cooperate with the fantasy.
You spend the years where you're supposed to be sort of earning your stripes with the opposite sex. A lot of swinging and missing, a lot of taking your lumps, a lot of getting asked out and being turned down. But it's where you sort of, like I said, earn your stripes.
Cut your teeth.
You cut your teeth that way. But you don't use your teeth, because that can hurt the ladies. And you spend these years, and you squander them in some sort of Dungeon and Dragon computer-generated BS fantasy.
Cyber reality.
Yes. Arthur, right. She's married. She's 10 years older. She's not interested. Just because she's nice to you at work does not mean she wants a relationship. Go out there and take a beating just like the rest of us did when we were 19.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline.
Goldthwait will be in here tomorrow night. Bobcat's a good friend and always a good time. So be prepared for his shenanigans. I guess he's plugging his new TV show on FX.
Pile of Show?
Bobcat's Pile of Show, which I will pitch to him, and I think they may change it. It's called Bobcat's Big Ass Show now. But Pile of Show sounds even better.
That's kind of funny.
Oh, and if you can just picture a graphic that went along with that. You know what I mean? Bob's Pile the Show. Bobbie Brown is here. Model actress Bobbie Brown is here. Talking to her, just reminiscing about the good old days with Tommy Lee and Warrant and Cherry Pie. And, oh, yes. Now, let me try
Thank
to.
you.
I'm trying to remember that video. You're definitely blonde.
Yeah.
You're wearing something red.
Mm-hmm.
You were strutting down. Were you at a strip club or just strutting down like a runway?
Yeah, more like a runway, not a strip club.
Was there a pole?
No, there was no pole involved.
No pole?
Mm-mm. Roller skates, but not a pole.
Oh, you were on the roller skates.
Yeah, a couple times.
Were you dressed like a waitress?
At one point, yeah.
Yeah.
Carrying a plate of pie.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what you call a concept song. Singing about the cherry pie.
Are you saying you didn't study that video with the jeweler's loupe?
Yeah. I actually damaged my right eye from pressing it up against the picture tube.
He's got a torn retina.
Yes.
That's great.
It stuck to the set. Actually, it wasn't. My tube sock stuck to the set, too.
Oh, gosh.
So there you are. I'll tell you, if if we ever dated, I would get a hold of that video and I would play it. That would be like foreplay. I would watch that over and over again before you came over.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Great.
And I'm trying to think what you would do for like.
Yeah.
I guess you really don't have a lot to do. I could show you like a high school football picture or something.
Oh, God. Well, that would be hot, Adam.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That gets the juices flowing. Justin.
Yes.
You're 22. And by the way, Emily, who called and wanted to know about... Wait, hold on a second, Justin. Let me just work on... finish something off here. Emily?
Yeah?
You're the gal who wanted to know about if your friend is more than a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And we said we're going to call him.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to give us his phone number?
No.
Because it's too embarrassing?
Yeah, and I don't think I gave you enough information. I think you guys are just working off, like, really...
Give us some more bits.
Well, we wanted to get the information from him.
Well...
give us the rest.
Okay. Well, we, like, relate kind of funny. We argue and fight a lot. I mean, kind of, like, fun,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh-huh.
And, we used to, like, really have communication problems, but now we communicate better now. And the reason I called is because he's starting to flirt with me more in the last few weeks, and I haven't felt like this coming from him in a long time, and that kind of bothers me, but it kind of makes me curious.
Listen.
Give us an example of what flirtation...
Oh, please.
Wait,
I don't have any more time for this.
Right.
You need to give him a few beers and see what he does. That's it.
Or
That's
just
where the
ask
truth
him.
lies.
I mean, if you feel the same way, kind of, then just ask him.
Just tell them you're getting confusing messages. And
Yeah.
Just want to straighten things out.
Listen, you're 20 years old. You got to live your life.
My gaydar's up with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Drew's spidey gaydar sense is tingling. Oh, yes. Justin?
You know, Mike's kind of bored tonight, I think. Looking for any excuse to get in here.
I don't know. The internet must have crashed or something, the computer. I don't know what's going on with Mike. All of a sudden he's paying attention to the show. Hey, Lisa, is there something wrong with AOL? There is. I knew it. Hey, listen, everybody. Anytime you hear more than, let's say, 3 sound cart drops in an hour, it means the AOL's on the fritz, and Mike can't look at internet porn.
Pee on this stick for me.
All right.
Justin?
Yeah.
You're 22.
I work at this place. This girl started working like a month ago, and me and my friend decided we were going to go and try and talk to her, and we both ended up talking to her, and he slept with her, and then right after that, she kind of just stopped talking to him, and then she started talking to me, and then we ended up sleeping together, and we're all like in a separate relationships also. We have our own relationships, so it's like this big understanding, except she doesn't know that me and my friend Zach know about each other sleeping with her, and now she's not talking to either of us, and we're just like wondering why that might be, and I guess.
Justin?
Yeah. Bobbie has something to say here.
Women tend to do that to make you more interested in them, or they really just don't want to have anything to do with you.
Maybe she's humiliated. I mean,
she probably knows. If you guys are friends, then she probably knows and is really embarrassed.
Yeah, but she talks about it like, you better not say anything, and just
listen.
We deep down know.
Any woman, listen, Bobbie, if you slept with me tonight and then you slept with Drew, next week.
Inevitably, I know you guys would know.
You know, we discussed this.
Absolutely, regardless of how much I begged and pleaded not to say.
Right.
Well, that's so stupid. Why even say that? You know, it goes without saying.
Right, and then you'd be hesitant about being in the room with the two of us
how
or talking to
uncomfortable.
us because you'd feel...
Absolutely, it's not
Right.
a good situation.
Well, she still comes around though, and we're both out there, and she talks to us and stuff.
All right. Well, so what do you care? You got a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever the hell you're sleeping with, right?
Well, yeah.
So what do you have? A girlfriend?
Yes, of course.
So what's the deal with that?
What's up with that relationship that you feel okay focusing on this other girl?
I don't know. Irresponsible.
Not really caring that much.
Not caring at all.
All right, just use a condom.
Of course, yeah.
All right, and I'll see you in hell. Okay,
God.
Justin?
All right.
Enjoy.
Okay.
All right. Sucks, though. I'll go down to hell for lighting farts in the back of a Honda on the way to Vegas, and everyone else is there. It's like, I'll be sitting around, what are you in here for? Oh, let's bang these cheerleaders. What about you? I did these models when I was married. What are you in for? I lit a fart in Barstow. Oh, you got screwed, buddy. I guess you're used to the heat, though. I guess that's one thing. That's all right. Oh, these poor guys. Actually, I don't feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for their women. Although,
yes, of course.
I do have this theory, and I know it's not a real popular one, but when you get hooked up with a guy like Justin, as much as nobody deserves it, you still brought it on yourself. Justin's an a-hole.
Yeah, but there's too much opportunity for that. I mean, society sort of supports men behaving that way, and it raises women to expect a certain quality in their relationship that they shouldn't. And then it all starts with the abusive a-hole dads.
Right.
So, it really, ultimately, it's men are responsible for this.
Where does one win?
I don't know. Not here. Not on Sunday night.
God forbid.
John? No,
No,
I should
we're
punch
done.
up John.
We're done.
Now, listen. John's been on hold for 119 minutes and 55 seconds. John's 19, has been in touch with a girl through... What
spirituality?
What word is that?
Ouija board.
Oh, what word is that, Drew?
Ouija board.
That says Ouija board? How do you spell Ouija?
That's how you spell it.
Wow.
O-U-G-I?
O-U-I-G-A. I've never seen the word Ouija board written down.
You've been in touch with her through a Ouija board?
Yeah, and I would like to talk to Julie, I guess, that supermodel you got on there.
Bobbie?
Yeah, Bobbie.
Julie?
Sorry about that. Yeah,
my name's Bobbie.
But
oh boy.
See?
Yeah.
About Tommy Lee, he had like what was it?
All right, just forget it. John needs the Ouija board to find his dick in the morning. I get the feeling. Please.
I think John maybe strung out on speed or something.
Oh, okay. John, listen, maybe we'll talk to John tomorrow night.
Yes.
I think Bobcat would be a guy.
Lisa, get John tomorrow night.
Can we hold a few of these calls for tomorrow night? Because all these poor bastards have been on hold for...
Line 6 is a good one.
Line 6 been on hold for 60 minutes.
Ooh, 4 is a good one. These are good calls, too.
Why didn't you get to them,
Because
Drew?
we had lots of good calls tonight.
All right, we'll be back. But not to talk about anything. Wow. Everyone's good looking in this family. All right, Bobbie Brown, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got a good looking daughter.
Don't I, though?
No kidding.
My
It's got the hair from the guy from Warren.
Who,
Lot of
Taylor?
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
A big hair girl.
Yeah.
All right, Bobcat Goldthwait tomorrow night. Bobbie Brown, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Much luck and Godspeed on any endeavor
And for God's sakes, be careful.
out there.
Okay.
So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily those of the staff or management or producers or directors or the advertising or anyone. They might be Bob's.
I'm Bob, and they're mine.
The producer of Loveline is Ann Wilkins. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.
Grr, arg. We now return you to your highly tested, regularly scheduled programming. Bye.